Hello, Salesforce Ohana, Walters954 here. Today I'll be answering questions from you, the Salesforce community. If you want to ask me something, just leave a comment down below. This audio was recorded in a mentoring session without video, so sit back and enjoy the configuration while I answer. If you're interested in getting a mentoring session, check out salesforcementor.com. Alrighty. Computer science, I did learn programming in school. It was mostly Java based, but I did learn databases and web development. So that's just my university background. I learned so much more after I started my actual development in Salesforce career. My university studying and stuff like that was really great for understanding how to read code and learn how to write code, but it didn't teach me everything that I needed to be successful. And that's where things like internships or learning on the job kind of filled in the gaps for a lot of the things that I was missing. Over the next 5-10 years, I think the forecast is going to be really bright for especially people like all of you if you stick to it. One, I'm all in on Salesforce, so it's the primary platform that I've been working on over the past couple of years, and I've built my career around it. So you can understand where my mindset is when I talk about it. For developers, I think it's going to be really bright. Salesforce is just getting more, let's say, complicated, and we're going to need more developers to fill that complicated niche that needs to get figured out. And in terms of job opportunities and things like that, they're just going up and up. It will start to get harder and probably plateau in about maybe 3-4 years. A lot of people want to learn Salesforce development and continue to, they see the huge numbers, people making 200K and 100K and whatever starting out. So a lot of people are seeing that, and they're trying to, everybody wants to get a piece of the pie. If you distinguish yourself and get the experience and start to learn, I think over the next 5 years, we'll all be in a really good position. And you think about things like mainframes and, well, I guess SAP, but I would say mainframes for sure. So mainframes are computer technology used it's one of the first databases that have ever existed. And lots of companies got behind it and implemented that into their infrastructure. And that's maybe a 30-year-old, 40-year-old technology. And there are still mainframe developers today. It's an outdated technology. It's not, nobody's going out of their way to build a mainframe today, but it still exists in the business world, and there are still jobs behind it. And that's kind of a thing that you need to think about, Salesforce in the long term. A lot of these companies are building their entire process on it, so it's going to be very hard for them to move out of Salesforce into another technology. So it's kind of future-proofing yourself for the foreseeable future. A good, I would say at least 30-40 years. We should be able to find some sort of Salesforce job, especially as a developer. As an admin, it is starting to get saturated, but there's still positions out there, especially if you show the interest that you can code, or you know how to read code, or you're able to do some development, because companies look for that kind of stuff. And long term, I think it's going to get more specialized. Financial services companies will want specialists in financial services cloud. People that do field service or some type of dispatching will want developers that know dispatching inside and out. And I think that's where a lot of the development is going to go, with specializations or integrations. Integrations is always a really big area that you can specialize in, because a lot of companies don't just use Salesforce, they use tons of other platforms that will be very useful to make everything work correctly. So integrations is always a really good one to get into, but it's kind of hard to learn. Einstein is another piece of that specialization. So Einstein Analytics and AI is a big piece of that the AI piece and discovery and prediction and things like that. So Salesforce internally has an analytics cloud. And if you're interested in that kind of stuff, I would say to look into it. It has a really big potential. With that one, it is a little bit harder to do development on because you will need to understand what is going on in that area of expertise. Not saying you can't learn it, but it's really heavy on like statistics, big data types of algorithms, and mathematics that, let's say, like the normal Salesforce developer would not understand that well. It's something, when you talk about specialization, that's a really good one to have, but it's harder to get into versus just like financial services. As long as you can make it, or as long as you can realistically afford to be an intern. For me, I interned for a year and a half while I was finishing school. I did not go to work every day. I didn't go to the internship every day. So in terms of like learning, there was that gap in between while I was doing my regular schooling. So if you're going like a regular full-time job, you should be learning a good amount. I would think that 6 months at that pace, you would be able to, depending on how rigorous or how much you're doing in development, but I think 6 months is a good time to say like, hey, I've learned more than enough to hold my own at this company as a developer or whatever position that you're in. So you can then transition to either a full-time position, a real full-time position, or look to start working at another company. The role that you're going for. So if you have interned for 6 months, not directly with Salesforce, then I would look for a junior type of position so that you have somebody over you that can kind of break down the requirements if you don't fully understand what they are. That's not to say that you wouldn't be able to get a regular mid-sized, like a regular Salesforce developer role. It just, the transition may be harder for you because you haven't been able to apply directly what you were learning at your previous job to your current job as a Salesforce developer. But a lot of things, a lot of times you can learn on the job, and if the job is flexible enough, they will, allow you to continue to grow and to learn on the job. I'd probably recommend admin to developer just so that you know more admin stuff. But either one is really good as you go along and as you start to learn. Any way that you can kind of like work your way into a full-time developer role is going to be a good path for you, regardless of if it's junior or admin. Why? So if you check me out on LinkedIn, I have had a couple different jobs, and that's because I get bored. If I'm not learning something new, if the company is stagnating, then I will leave because I'm always looking for a new challenge. And that's just something that I have internally, and I guess something that I've struggled with. I don't know if it's a struggle or not, but so that's why you'll see like I maybe spend a year at one company, then go to another one, spend a year, and then go to another one. So for Nearpod, really great company. I figured it out. I figured out everything in 9 months, let's say. So I started to get bored, and that's when I got recommended for consulting because I've had this problem where, once everything is golden or everything is really good, I'll start to want to move or to try something new. And with consulting, you're going to be on your toes for forever. You're going to be in 5 different orgs. You're going to be trying to figure out different problems for XYZ type of person. You may have requirements, you may not. So it's really dynamic in what you're doing. And then your learning is like exponential because you're working in such a fast-paced environment. Thank you all so much for watching. If this video was helpful, make sure to smash that like button. I mean, really smash it. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this. And if you're interested in a mentoring session, just like we had here, be sure to check out salesforcementor.com. There's a mentoring section with awesome mentors, not just myself. As always, remember, I believe in you.